Now at 6, closure countdown. Businesses set to close in just 2 hours as efforts to battle the coronavirus ramp up. What will be open and what won't?
Stock markets plunge again as coronavirus fears grow. The impact it's having on Wall Street now.
And the battle for beds, scrambling to prepare hospitals to keep a crush of patients from overwhelming the system. Just how many beds could be needed and where will they come from? Good evening, I'm Chuck Scarborough.
And I'm Natalie Pasquarella. Tri-state governors are now joining forces tonight to fight this pandemic, now taking a regional approach and implementing changes to slow the spread. Gatherings of over 50 people or more are not permitted. Bars, restaurants, gyms, movie theaters, and casinos across the tri-state all ordered to close at 8 tonight. And more drive-through testing is on the way. Mayor de Blasio announced 5 facilities are in the works across the city. Governor Cuomo also said some are coming to Long Island and Rockland, too. There are now over 1,100 cases in the tri-state. New York leading the nation with 950 cases, 7 of them deadly. 178 in New Jersey with 2 deaths, and Connecticut has 41 cases. And Chuck, these numbers are expected to rise. News 4's Andrew Siff is live in Lower Manhattan with the changes coming to the city, which has the most cases in our area. Andrew.
Natalie, that's right. And the next thing that's going to happen is the economic hit. We're now in the final hours, as you indicated, for thousands and thousands of businesses, big and small. With the exception of takeout and delivery, restaurants and bars tonight at 8 p.m. are about to close.
As you can see, I have no customers on a Monday.
Bartender Cheryl Mosley won't have customers on a Tuesday either, or any day for the foreseeable future.
It's sad. It's rough, but, I guess the government knows what's best for people.
City, state, and federal guidelines about to change everyone's lives through the spring and maybe summer, too, as a new reality sinks in for New York City.
It will get a lot worse before it gets better. I don't take any joy in saying that, but people expect our leaders to talk straight with them.
Starting tonight at 8, bars and restaurants must shut down or switch to takeout and delivery only. Gyms must also close. The mayor spent one final day at his Brooklyn workout today.
I knew in advance that it was a very socially distanced situation. There was almost no one there.
Meanwhile, for the families of 1 million school children, it was a day spent waiting in long lines to stock up on groceries.
Getting really scary now.
And for the Department of Education, day 1 of a grab-and-go breakfast and lunch service at every city school.
Multi-grain Cheerios.
The chancellor said it's meant to minimize the pain for families who depend on school for nutrition.
I think that's only going to get more and more robust as the weeks go by, because people will understand that, we're not kidding.
So many people at home still trying to navigate how to handle this. For example, we spoke to one couple today. The woman, she had a fever. She was home. The husband still thought he had to go to work at his patent law office. Changed his mind at the last minute. The mayor has yet to tell people that they have to stay home, but indicated that could change in the days and weeks ahead. We're live at City Hall. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
As so much is changing daily. Thank you very much, Andrew. New restrictions are set to begin in New Jersey. The state's reporting 80 new cases of coronavirus, nearly doubling the number of the previously reported confirmed cases, bringing the Garden State's total now to 178. At 8, casinos, gyms, and non-essential businesses will close. Restaurants and bars will stop serving in-house, but will offer delivery and takeout. All schools and universities have been ordered to close on Wednesday. News 4's Brian Thompson is live in New Jersey and Jersey City with how businesses are coping.
Yeah, Chuck, and the governor's order closing the schools does not include daycare centers. However, cities such as Jersey City and Hoboken are ordering their daycare centers to shut down. So despite all of this effort to make things uniform across the tri-state, not everyone is on the same page.
We will not put students, educators, and staff and their families at risk.
Ethan Orlando already teleschooling. Soon all students in New Jersey will be doing so.
I feel better because I could just do it on my couch without anyone yelling at me.
Like TNX Saturday, everyone is being asked to stay home if they're not essential workers. Like Hoboken Saturday night, across the state, bars and restaurants are shutting down for the duration, except takeout and delivery. At 11 this morning, staff at Uncle Momo's was putting out tables and chairs for a shortened lunch hour. Just an hour later, they were taking them back inside. The mayor here ordering a noon closing. These are the last 2 customers leaving, perhaps in the entire city. Enjoy a sit-down meal.
I get it, but it's...
Do you know how to cook?
Yes, I do, actually.
Good skills, as both the earlier Jersey City closings, now joined by the state, include the same restaurants, bars, gyms, salons, and movie theaters as New York and Connecticut.
The more the state can get involved with clear guidelines, the better it is for everybody.
Governor Murphy trying to fill that role.
I am begging you to care, to do what you need to do personally.
For restaurants already facing empty tables, they'll try to give workers at least some hours, depending on how takeout business goes.
Today I called to one guys have to stay home. And we see today or tomorrow, then, it's
Day by day?
Day by day.
Increasingly, face masks are becoming the order of the day here. And for those with kids out of school like the Mannings and working from home, some long hours ahead.
Late at night, yeah, whenever we can get a moment.
When the kids are sleeping?
Yeah, hopefully everybody's available for calls at midnight.
Well, probably a lot of people will be available because not many people are getting sleep these days. National Guard is being mobilized. We have learned 150 servicemen and women from the Air and Army National Guard will be providing logistics and transportation work, also military police for traffic control. And while not a strict curfew, the governor is urging everyone to stay home between the hours of 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. unless they have essential reasons to be out. Live in Jersey City, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.
The markets took another big hit today because of the coronavirus. The Dow dropped nearly 3,000 points. So that would make today the worst day since the Black Monday market crash of 1987. The NASDAQ and S&P both had one of the worst days as well.
And this just in from Connecticut. Governor Ned Lamont says an additional 15 people have tested positive in his state. That brings the total in Connecticut to 41. And just like New York and New Jersey, those restrictions on non-essential businesses are in effect in Connecticut. Bars, casinos, and movie theaters close at 8. Drive-through testing also has been approved at 7 Connecticut hospitals.
And Chuck, in Westchester, a state of emergency has been declared. The county has the second most cases in New York behind the city. News 4's Marc Santia live for us tonight in Mamaroneck with the efforts underway to stop the spread there where you are, Marc.
And Natalie, it's really an evolving situation here in Westchester County. We're not only seeing indoor locations closing, we're seeing outdoor locations closing as well. An empty playground and eerie silence. With kids home from school, the village of Mamaroneck is sending a message loud and clear. Stay home. Playscapes are off limits. Local leaders discouraging large groups.
I'm kind of surprised that I didn't think of the necessity to close the playground, but I feel obviously it's a good idea.
A state of emergency declared in Westchester. Right now, all schools in the county are closed beginning this Wednesday for at least 2 weeks. Many closed on their own, but now all 44 school districts have been mandated to shut down. And restaurants here, as well as across the state, can only offer takeout services. Gyms, bars, theaters are now closed.
As Americans, we're very individualistic people. We like our personal freedoms, and almost any of us, unless you're over the age of 75 or so, do not remember a time where Americans had societal sacrifice as we did during World War I or during the Great Depression. This has now come to our generation to accept and to respond to for whatever length of time.
All schools here closed for at least 14 days, but County Executive Latimer says that could be extended. We're live in Mamaroneck. I'm Marc Santia, News 4 New York.
On Long Island, a drive-through testing site is going to open up on Jones Beach, according to Governor Cuomo, with more of those to come. And this comes as confirmed cases surpass 100 on the island, most of them in Nassau County. News 4's Pei-Sze Cheng is live in Jones Beach right now with the latest on the efforts to fight the virus there. Pei-Sze?
Yeah, Chuck, the site that is being built right here at Jones Beach is modeled after the first site that was built in New Rochelle that is already operational. The idea is to be able to get patients who are showing symptoms to be able to come to a place, get tested, while limiting the risk to other people of getting sick. This because the governor says testing is one of the most important things we can do to fight this pandemic. Gavin and Maya Weingarten were hard at work doing school assignments at home.
It's a little hard not having your teacher being there to teach it to you, but then it's also fun because you're like not in school every single minute and you could do other things than schoolwork.
For now, Mom is also their teacher, drawing a daily schedule for them to follow and thinking of other activities that respect social distancing, which we were mindful of when we interviewed them.
We've been doing a lot of FaceTime play dates, so I'll set up something with a mom and we'll FaceTime while we're playing. My son practiced violin with his friend over FaceTime yesterday.
In Nassau County, the OEM distributed gloves, hand sanitizer, and over 40,000 face masks to Nassau's emergency responders. And at Jones Beach, tents were set up in the vast parking lots, the home of a major drive-up coronavirus testing site.
We're working towards testing pods, outside testing pods with tents, drive-through testing sites. That will help us achieve, if not exceed, that testing margin.
That testing margin is 6,000. That's how many people Governor Cuomo wants to test per day. Many Nassau residents welcome this news.
Because so many people want to get tested and we don't have the facilities yet for that. Hopefully that's going to change soon.
The less that we come in contact on a regular basis, especially in the hospital setting where we can expose ourselves and other people to the situation, is a good idea.
At this point, testing kits are still limited, and so they are limiting testing to people who are showing symptoms or maybe living with people who are showing symptoms as well. At some point, though, the governor does hope to be able to test as many people as we possibly can. We're live from Wantagh tonight. Pei-Sze, Cheng, News 4 New York.
All right, Pei-Sze, thank you. The Trump administration's 30-day ban on most European travelers will go into effect tonight. Those new restrictions already created a mess, as you can see from the video at airports this weekend. Look at that. That was as Americans were rushing just to get back home. Long lines, long waits, all because of those expanded screenings required by the government. The ban does not apply to U.S. citizens and green card holders, though.